Well, welcome everyone to a spooky whatever day it is for another little dip of our toes into the sea of eldritch horror that is Call of Cthulhu. Hey, and we just kind of we kind of put this team together last minute. Katie jumped on and joined us. Very glad to see you again, Katie. Katie comes to us with some experience in Call of Cthulhu, but it was a pulp game of Down Darker Trails, so a very different kind of setting. And as I was explaining to Katie before stream, this is the classic 1920s Call of Cthulhu with very few changes, just a few little house rules about character advancement and stuff like that. But we're not doing pulp, we're not doing any of that stuff. So yay. Hey, let us do that thing. And as the most recent to join us, hey, let's start with you first, Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. I will be playing Gail, the reporter today. Gail Breeze. I'm a new reporter on the scene, and I just moved to town. My niece lives here with my sister and family, and she said there was some weird stuff going on. So I'm here to get to the bottom of it and maybe have my big break and become super famous after I write this article.
Yes. Your editor wants you to cover like the latest fashions in women's hats and the I almost said rotisserie, the rotary bake sale and stuff like because this Arkham, Massachusetts is not a massive town, but you are all in for stories of horror and murder and strange happenings.
Yeah, the other stuff is boring. It's not gonna give me like fame.
Yeah, well, that just means you've never attended a bake sale here in Arkham.
Yeah.
They're usually run by cults. But anyway, hey, Sin.
Hey, I'm Sin, or Sinful__potato, here on Twitch and other social media site platforms and so forth. I'm playing Dr. Etta Wells, who is an alienist or psychologist, therapist, something like that. Is very good at treating people with therapy stuff. Definitely haven't failed the last 2 times I've tried to see how sane our dear friends Maurice and Eloise are. They're completely sane, by the way. It's totally fine. Everything's fine. Definitely didn't tickle Cthulhu or a spawn of Cthulhu. I don't know. And then also Drusilla is just very nice.
Oh, that's right.
Maurice.
Before I go, I would like to recommend that everybody watch the VOD or the video of our last session on YouTube because it was very good. I just finished it myself. Anyways, my name is Maurice Church. I am a Quaker, mechanic, and taxi driver. I'm also the resident red shirt who seems to be getting hurt really badly by various creatures of darkness. I have gone to therapy, but therapy hasn't been that great for me personally. So I might try to find some new avenues there. I don't stream much on Twitch anymore, but I am in a band called the Dreadnoughts. We're quite popular. You can find us on Spotify, thedreadnoughts.com, DREADNOUGHTS. And I don't know, listen to my favorite album, Foreign Skies. Misha, go ahead.
I'm Misha_lesson3 here on Twitch. I am playing Eloise Page. She's a nurse. She's not the best nurse, but she does have a lot of drugs. So there's that. Huge gossip. It's definitely insane. Is very pliable and also likes eggs. No reason. There's also a guy that she's keeping in a basement, or her best friend's keeping in a basement. He's not a guy anymore. He's like a creature. Boy, I hope no reporters start asking questions about that. That'd be really bad. Anyway, over to you, Zero.
Yeah, it's all good. So before stream, we're advantaged because some people are suffering from a bit of loss of sanity due to some really horrific events that they've gone through, and we have like literally a psychoanalyst who like knows Carl Jung, right? So she's like a big deal, and therapied Maurice so hard he lost 4 points of sanity. So yeah, that's great. And I can't count the number of times that Eloise has almost overdosed a patient. Like, here, let me save you by killing you with heroin.
It's like once an
Uh,
episode.
Yeah, it's great. So
Eloise does keep saving me, though.
it's true, but usually through kung fu and feats of athletics, which is not your skill set, but it's fine. It's fine. So, all right. This is, if you have seen previous episodes, this is a very episodic story, but we decided for this one we would kind of pick up right after the end of the last session because there were some plot threads that were left not hanging. So, last session, TLDR, the group was invited to attend to the Cavendish family, which are a very wealthy, somewhat reclusive, old money family here in Massachusetts. They occasionally give money to Miskatonic University. They are known to keep a strange collection of odd artifacts and writings and things, but not, the most active in society. They live in Coldwater Falls or just outside Coldwater Falls, which is, a good ways outside of Arkham. The group made their way there. Their car broke down. They got lost for a very, very long time. They found themselves in Coldwater Falls, which is a really, really creepy little hamlet, and then decided to walk up to the house at night, which they finally made their way in, met some people, in particular the lady of the house, one Drusilla Cavendish, Charles Cavendish III's second and entirely unsuitable wife, who was not suspicious at all. Not obviously angling to get the older son, Charlie, the heir to the family fortune, committed to an asylum or something because he's been having a hard time sleeping and sleepwalking. But Eloise and Dr. Wells decided to examine him. He seemed perfectly fine, although he was having some difficulties. They stayed up in the room next door to kind of watch and make sure that nothing bad was happening to him. And then heard his window open and he disappeared. They chased him out onto the grounds where he was kind of like floating in the air, like he was being dragged by something. They approached a marshy area and through a variety of things found that there was indeed some sort of strange creature that has like a half-mile long tongue or something that was like slowly reeling him in. And they did battle. Their friend Sir Reggie was almost immediately eaten by the creature. And then they sliced the creature open and he kind of fell out the side. Then it tried to eat him again. But after a good amount of hacking and shooting, they were able to sever a tentacle on this creature's back that was holding a strange bangle into place, kind of like a golden ring, but rather large with strange carvings on it that glowed. I believe Eloise currently has that artifact, if I'm not mistaken. And wrapping up that investigation, as they were leaving, they noted that there was someone who was watching them leave, and it was Drusilla, the mysterious and not at all suspicious lady of the house. And some, I forget who, sharp-eyed individual on the team noted that she had a very similar ring on her finger with similar glowing runes. So clearly she is up to no good, and you have thwarted her plans for now. It's the next day. What happens?
Eloise also has a doll.
Oh, yes. Eloise was given a creepy doll with a button head by
Indeed.
one of the inbreds in Coldwater Falls.
It's in my bag.
Yeah. It's definitely not cursed.
I probably forgot about it. Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Maybe it's anti-cursed.
Yes.
Ooh.
So at this point, I think there's probably a good, solid support group of individuals who have run into strange things. So feel free to bring your little party of investigators together however you see fit.
Well, I think I would have talked with Dr. Wells, and I'm like, well, there is this ring that we have. Maybe we should look into it more. You know, I bet Maurice would love to hear about what we were up to. Let's go get lunch.
Yes, that is a very good idea.
Perfect. And then we will walk on over to where Maurice is, which I assume is his place of employment
Yeah.
at the
Arkham
The
Taxi.
old Arkham Taxi.
taxi.
Yeah. Maurice, you are, as usual, underneath a car, fixing something. Axles are safe because they have axles. They have springs. We know that. They have brakes.
I'm greasing those axles yet again.
All right.
Just like last time.
Yes. The one car thing we know, question mark?
Yes. It's a never-ending job.
I'm aligning some tires.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Maurice, hello. Would you care to get some lunch?
Oh, I'm awfully famished. That sounds like a good idea. Just give me a sec here to clean up and wash my hands and with the greasy rag, and it's like I'm knocking off for lunch there, boss. And then I just head out with Eloise and Dr. Wells.
Excellent. And you make your way to, I don't know, like the Talon and Tentacle, some ye oldie, authentic kind of pub situation, which probably at one time did serve a nice liquid lunch, but of course, this being the prohibition, now it's 1920s juice and sandwich bar, basically. But you can have a lovely lunch and catch each other up on recent occurrences. I wonder if an intrepid reporter might just happen to be at the nearby table.
Oh, I just figured it out. I'm definitely stalking Eloise.
Okay.
I am. My niece gave me one name, and I have been following Eloise for most of the day.
Got it.
I'm like sitting behind my menu, like.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, why Gail, give me a stealth. Eloise, give me a spot hidden.
Yeah.
See how long Eloise has realized that this person has been tailing her.
I got 56 under 69.
So a regular
Which
success.
is a success.
And I got a 16 under 60.
Which is a
Regular.
No.
Success. No? But yeah, because my 5th is 12.
Yep. So it's a hard success because it's under half, but over a fifth. So it's that middle number. Below the middle number, but not below the third number. So a hard success versus a regular success, the hard success makes it. So although Gail has been, there's a little montage, the camera watches as this crew, Eloise and Dr. Wells talking and having the idea about Maurice and going, walking over to the garage and talking to Maurice or whatever. And in the background, and it kind of out of focus, we keep seeing the same individual, peeking around trees and hiding in doorways. Very, very spy versus spy like. Yes, so we, the audience, recognize that individual is sitting at a table next to you, being very conspicuous about holding up the menu, but Eloise does not.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just
So
listening.
you get basically the whole recap of what happened, except I probably get quiet during the parts where it gets extra weird. Whispers, it's secrets. I'm hamming it up because I'm a gossip, so I'm pretty good at, telling you all these things. I emphasize the point that she used to be a maid. Yes, that's right. The lady of the house used to be one of their housemates before she married him after. I know.
I think when that is said, Gail just goes, oh.
So the introduction happens
and then
exactly.
immediately, like, oh shit.
But
And Eloise, that ring that you have or
yes,
saw.
and I will reach into my bag and I'll put it on the table so you all can see. This is a ring, got runes,
Yeah.
probably cursed or whatever.
I think I saw Lady Drusilla had it around her finger.
That's right, because she would have been controlling the. Do I notice this person
I think at this
getting
point, probably
closer
so.
and
I think-
closer to the table?
I think there's like loud screeching of wood on tile as you slowly move your chair over.
I've had like the chair tipped forward. I'm like balancing on the first
Right.
two legs, going,
Audibly gasping at the juicier bits, going from holding up the menu to block the face to holding it like a little ear cone to hear more. So yeah, I think it's probably explicit enough that you realize it at this point.
Oh. I'll just cover the ring and slide it into the bag. Can I help you? Have we met?
"Oh, hey!" I'm gonna get up and drag my chair over to their table and just sit down.
Squeal, squeak,
Hey.
like fingernails on a chalkboard. Everyone turns and listens as this.
And
Yeah.
the whole time, Gail's just like, sorry, excuse me,
Excuse me, pardon me.
sorry, I'm new in town. Hi, sorry. And I'm gonna sit down and go, hi. So, I don't typically eavesdrop, but I couldn't help but over here, and the glow just caught my eye. Very pretty, by the way. Where'd you get it? Anyway, you look familiar, and I feel like I reckon I don't know if you're wearing a uniform specifically. Okay.
Probably. I mean, I did come from work, so.
I'm like, oh, I recognize that crest. My niece goes to your school. She called me or sent me a letter the other day. And we were just talking, and she said, school has been really weird lately. So I was just, like I said, I'm new in town. I couldn't help but overhear. Do you work at the school?
I do work at the school. Hi, I'm Eloise. Eloise Page. It's nice to meet you.
I
I'll
will
shake your hand.
enthusiastically shake your
Yeah.
hand and go, hi, my name is Gail Breeze, up and coming reporter.
Oh,
catch
a
me in the local
reporter!
Yeah. I like to report on
Oh.
things, like fashion,
Mm-mm.
stuff like that.
Oh,
That's-
well, let me
That is
introduce.
currently what I'm writing about is fashion in Arkham, Massachusetts.
Ah, I see. Well, I mean, many people here are very fashionable. After all, Arkham's a
I
very
can
nice
tell.
place to live. I'm sure your niece has been enjoying it. How long have you stayed in town so far?
I have only, believe it or not, been here for like 2 days. Just got into town.
Wow, and you already have a job as a reporter.
Well, it's
Man.
from another town, the town over, and I just, once I heard my niece was missing me, I asked if my boss if I could, come do like a little piece, We're exploring some nearby towns. People've got to know what we're doing in all the cities and towns. All of it,
All those things. Oh, excuse my manners. Let me introduce you to my colleagues and friends. This is Dr. Wells. She is doing a series of guest lectures at the university for the last few weeks.
Hi, nice to meet you. I will also enthusiastically shake your hand. Gail Breeze, up and
Shake it
coming
back.
reporter.
And then
Yes.
this is Maurice. He works for the taxi company. Great for getting rides around town.
I will enthusiastically shake your hand.
I show her that my hands are dirty from working on the vehicles. It's like
I'll grab one anyway.
oh, okay.
Hello, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So, again, I'm so sorry to eavesdrop. I know it's improper and all, but I couldn't help but hear some crazy things. Is everything okay?
Oh, we were just talking about some short stories that our friend wrote. What was his name? Augie? Yeah,
Yes, that lovely boy from Wisconsin.
he wrote some very fine stories for us, and they're quite fantastical. He calls them what is it? Fiction, scientific fiction, I believe.
Oh, well, I do love a good story, obviously. What's it about? Scientific fiction? That's an interesting genre. I feel like it should be explored more.
Hmm. Well, it's a story about a family that well, they were by a salamander monster, I believe. That was yeah. Anyways, what is this for again? Who are you reporting for?
The Daily Mail in the next town over, a
Oh,
named
okay.
town one. Um, just a local newspaper. I like to get out and explore. Mostly, like I said, I'm here visiting my niece and we're very close. So naturally, you can understand I take her safety very seriously. And like I
Mhm.
said, she's feeling like there's some weird going ons around school. So I'm just a little nosy.
So
Well,
Gail, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, I was just saying. Well, you're aware if you have done your due diligence, then you're aware of the official reports that happened recently. Are you not?
Gail would be, Katie is not.
Yeah. Yeah, Gail would know that there was an oddity where the clock tower on campus, instead of ringing its normal tune, seemed to play this strange, otherworldly melody, and timepieces broke. Subsequently, there were some murders that have been pinned on a visiting scholar who may or may not be the transformed creature that is in Eloise's friend's basement. That you don't know. You probably also know. I'm going to say you work for the Essex County Register. So it would make sense that you would cover kind of this area broadly, and
Okay.
you might also have picked up because of your interest in this strange and unusual. You might have intuited that the destruction of a old chapel down by Fall River sounded like there was something more to it than that. You certainly would have heard that there was some sort of strange culty activity going on in an old church just outside town that resulted in the near destruction of a covered bridge and a bunch of people dying and some others being apparently had to be put away in asylums. So yeah, you're aware that there's some strange stuff going on. I would also like you to give me a couple of rolls. Would you first give me a spot hidden?
Yeah.
Because I want to get a sense of how good a look you got at that ring before
Uh,
Eloise put it away.
35 under 60.
So a hard success. You did. You got a very good look. I think perhaps the surreptitious way in which Eloise was showing it to people attracted your attention. You got a very good look at it. And it does at first look like a normal ring. It's a little bit larger. Like it didn't seem like it would easily fit on anyone's finger. So it's maybe almost the size of like a napkin ring. So it's clearly not a bracelet, too small for that. But unless someone had a very, very large finger, it wouldn't quite fit. And I will say you also caught the faintly gleaming sigils graven on it. As such, I will allow you to make an occult roll.
Can I make an occult roll?
You also saw it, yeah.
All
That
right.
is a 30 on a 30.
Haha, well done.
22 over 5.
Okay.
I'm just gonna.
So Maurice is like, weird. But Gail, given, I think perhaps just luckily, you had been, although you've only been here in town a couple of times, you have visited the Miskatonic University Library a few times and have spent some time in the section that covers the occult. And while you do not recognize the sigils to the degree that you like can read them or anything, you recognize that they are some sort of derivative of Coptic and a Egyptian liturgical language. And you don't speak the language, but you just like, oh, I remember I saw a symbol, and it says it's something about binding, like
Oh,
binding
okay.
to one's will,
Okay.
and overtones of vengeance and cursing. Seems like it's not great stuff. So but you do get
okay.
a fairly strong intuitive feel that this object has an occult purpose and power.
Okay. Thank you. I was like, Gail knows, Katie doesn't. So to answer Maurice's question, Gail will be like, yeah. So, the newspaper I mentioned before, it's like Essex County Register. So I'm in and out often. I just kind of go all over the county. I did hear about some things, which admittedly is part of why when my niece called me, I decided to take a more personal look at everything. I mean, what is the world coming to when there's a lot of destruction and death, murders, possible occult stuff? Like the ring you had out a second ago is very interesting, very memorable.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I mean, I only caught a glimpse. Again, I wasn't trying to pry, but it did. Some of the things on it looked a little familiar. I've seen at the library. Where'd you get that?
Sorry, familiar how?
Oh, just in books I've read about, deriving from an Egyptian language source. Just some bad mojo on those symbols. I don't read them, but I recognize from books. I feel like if we had like a reference, we could probably find out more. But like I said, just some bad mojo about binding and cursing, a little vengeance, if you know what I mean.
Oh, this picked it up off the ground over by the Cavendish's house. Maybe
Have
it's a part of their collection?
Are they collectors of the occult?
Yes, our acquaintance Sir Reginald was mentioning something about. Isn't that right, Dr. Wells?
Yes, wasn't it Mr. Charles, head of the Cavendish, had a nice little collection that he was going to show Sir Reginald the next time he was over.
Whoa, that's crazy. I didn't realize there's that much going on in this area. That's okay. So are you guys then close with them? Did you go to the showing?
Well, we happen to be stopping by the Cavendishes for another reason. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but Dr. Wells is, of course, a premier alienist. So she was there to take a look at one of the children of the Cavendish's family. He's in college, but he was home and having some troubles, wasn't he? And if you could pull
Yes,
Shanks
he
back in,
was.
that'd be great.
Yeah. I'll do it. Keep going.
Okay. Wow, that's interesting. And she'll kind of lean in towards Dr. Wells, like, oh, tell me more.
Oh, doctor client confidentiality I can't get into.
Oh,
too
Yes,
much
of course,
stuff,
I
but
understand. Don't tell me more than you feel comfortable. I just like to
there's
know the people I'm getting to know.
well, it was just a simple sleepwalking incident. Our dear friend Eloise treated him with uh, pills, medication for that to lower the stress so that it didn't cause any sleepwalking. So that
Oh,
was
I
the
imagine
issue.
being the son of a family like that, I would imagine I'd be gray-haired with stress.
Yes. And definitely because he is the heir to the Cavendish household, so you don't want the heir to get hurt in any way.
Exactly. If we don't take care of the next generation's youth, who is gonna take care of us?
Exactly.
Hey, would anyone or everyone like to give me a listen?
Yes.
Yes.
Here's
Heck
my
yeah,
listen.
bud.
Oh, it's slightly better than last time. Whoa, 11.
60
That
over 46.
Okay.
hard success.
All right.
69 over 50.
All right. Nice. And
Nine,
also,
91 over
Nice.
6.
okay. So I think Gail, Dr. Wells, and Eloise are either so engaged in conversation or lost in thought or trying to remember if they picked up the 7 pounds of raw meat that they're supposed to deliver to Madge's house for no reason. But and maybe this bores Maurice a bit. So Maurice is just kind of looking around and listening, and you hear a bit of a kerfluffle from the kitchen.
What is that I hear?
It's just
Oh,
and
man.
it was a hard success. So I'm going to say you pick up just enough of, I told you to get the plumber out here and get this fixed. It's all plugged up again. Hold on, let me get my hand down there.
All right.
And then you hear, ugh, what's that? That ain't no grease. And then you hear some like some sounds of dismay coming from the kitchen, and maybe like a pot being slammed onto a hob and maybe a plate being dropped and broken.
I would love any excuse to extricate myself from this conversation because I don't want to reveal anything. So I'm gonna go. Oh, I better go help him out. You know, I'm a mechanic. I think I can help him out.
Yeah.
Excuse me for a second.
Well, so Maurice, all heroic, springs into action. You pop your head into the kitchen and you see a staff of 3, 2 women and a man. The man is, sleeves rolled up. He's got a pack of cigarettes rolled into the sleeve of his white t-shirt. He's got an apron on, kind of a long, droopy salt and pepper mustache, quite bald, little overweight, just covered in grease and gravy and like not remotely hygienic looking. You recognize one of the women as a waitress, and one of the women is someone that you probably have seen, but maybe works, maybe like does prep or something like that, but she's not front of house. And they all seem to be backed away from this large basin sink. You can see a stack of kind of sudsy dishes that have been pulled out of the sink and set on the counter nearby, I guess to make room for him to investigate. And you, from your angle, you
Could
can't
you pull
see.
him in back in again?
From your angle, Maurice, you can't see what's in the sink, but you can see suds and splashes of water. Kind of,
Okay.
there's some sort of agitation in the water, and everyone else is kind of like the one waitress has a frying pan held up like a weapon to defend herself. What do you
And
do?
it's like- Sorry, I try to take a look at what's happening in there. First of all, like trying to interject myself.
You step in.
Yep.
You will have to get closer to the sink to see
I
what's
do
in
that.
it, though. So you move forcefully over toward the sink. It does. It looks like maybe, and this is sudsy water and probably quite warm, but maybe there's like an eel or something in there. It does seem like something is in the water thrashing.
Oh, okay. I grab the frying pan from the young lady and I whack it.
She's going to hold on. So you cross back over the kitchen, you try to drink it out of her hand, and she's like, no, this is mine.
I need it.
There's other pans. Get your own.
All right. I take out my wrench, which I assume I have seen as I've come
Sure.
from work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your trusty wrench.
Old bludgeony.
Okay, cool.
All right.
And what do you do?
I'm going to whack it hard.
So you're just going to like slam it down into the water?
Yeah, as best I can.
Cool. Go ahead and give me a fighting brawl, but with a penalty die, since you don't really have eyes on the thing.
All right. Well, my first roll is 91.
It could get worse.
It did not.
Okay.
91. So that's a fail.
It's a fail, but not a critical fail.
No.
So you slam it down into the water, and there's a big splash. And then immediately just the warm soapy water gets all over you. And then you start to like, oh no, I'm about to drop my wrench, and you have to reach down and grab it with a second hand. And then as you do, these fine tendrils just launch up out of the water and begin to wrap around your wrench and your hands. And they begin to pull. What do you do?
I use my strong big man muscles to pull away from it.
Oh, I think the first thing you probably do is make a sanity check, because this is clearly not normal.
All right. What's my sanity at now? It's a lot lower.
It's lower after seeing Dr. Wells, that's for sure.
It is a failure. 62
Ooh.
over 45.
Ooh, take a D4.
Uh-oh. Last time I rolled this, I lost all 4. 3.
Okay, cool.
So that's 3 out of 9.
But the good news is, I mean, that you don't panic, but you are affected. Maybe that's going to lend you some extra leverage as you try to extricate yourself.
All right. And yes, I use my big man muscles to pull my arm out of the sink.
Yes.
It's just a strength roll?
Just a strength.
All right. 39 under 70. That is still a normal.
Just a regular success. Yes. You are able to. It takes a few tugs, right? One almighty tug, but then it's like there's still a couple of these tendrils around one wrist, and then the ones that you pull off the one hand begin to wrap around your wrench. So then you kind of have to angle it and grab your wrench and pull. So I'm going to say it takes kind of like 3 tugs.
Right.
You notice as you're pulling that there is some clanking and cracking and moaning coming from the plumbing and the tile wall into which the plumbing is set.
Right.
And you can almost hear a as you're pulling whatever this stuff is out. But you do yank free, and now there's a good 4 feet of this fibrous mat of hair-like stuff just kind of twitching and flailing.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, this is disgusting.
Gail, Dr. Wells, and Eloise, whether you really notice, I mean, you hear more, oh, I'm going to go help them with the plumbing, that maybe that didn't attract your attention, but there's continued ruckus. And I think, Maurice, especially with that sanity loss, you probably Although you are Quaker, so I'm sure you didn't curse, but you probably had a few choice words, choice PG words to say as you were struggling with this thing. So it's now become apparent to all in this little bistro that something strange is happening in the kitchen. What is
Sweet
everyone
suffering sassafras. This
Right.
B word is just terrible.
Gail is going to immediately run to look at the scenario.
Excellent. Leaping into
I'm
action,
gonna
just
head
like any
over,
good cub reporter.
but not as quickly.
Okay. Slowly. What about Dr. Wells? Dr. Wells, curious
Dr.
about.
Wells is also going slowly.
Cool. Well,
Gotta pick up my bag.
Gail is there in time to see just as the last tendrils kind of break free as Maurice pulls his wrench free. And you get a really good look at this organism, which also means you need to make a sanity check because this is clearly not a normal animal.
Yeah.
And then coming on your heels is going to be Eloise and Dr. Wells, so you might as well roll it up now.
Can I use a major boon?
How dare you? Yes.
It's really bad.
You may. Listen, I'm just accepting. Maybe I shouldn't. I got a 94 over 29. I don't think that's great.
It's not great, but it's not a critical fail. That's a D4.
Well, then that's fine.
It's a D4.
Why shouldn't I take more D4s?
Right.
Sanity damage.
But it only takes 5 for you to gain another indefinite insanity.
I now have a 44 under 50.
Okay. So you're fine. I think what it is that you don't really. This is not bad enough that it calls for necessarily the intelligence check. But I'm going to say that like you see something weird happening, but you haven't quite pieced together what it is. So your mind doesn't really appreciate just how odd it is, or maybe you haven't fully comprehended the fact that this mass is alive. Dr. Wells, with your fabulous sanity and inherent resistance to all things arcane, what was your roll?
A 52 under 69.
Yeah, you're fine. Clearly, this is just a really bad hair and grease clog.
A normal thing for a restaurant sink. Anyway, I took 3 sanity damage.
Great. So, how close are you to your threshold? 2 away?
Oh, I'm 2 away. Yeah.
Yeah. Be thinking
Yet
what your
another-
next insanity is going to be. But of course, and with that sanity loss, you feel your willing or your ability to resist suggestion just slowly draining away, to be replaced by ninja-like martial skills. I don't know. If past is prologue, then that's the case. Cool. So yes, everyone runs in. Does anyone do anything before it does?
Is Maurice free now, or is
You just witnessed as he pulled himself free. Actually, let's
Okay.
figure out who gets to do stuff. So who has the highest dexterity? No one has a drawn weapon. So what's yours, Maurice?
70.
I think that's the highest.
Mine is
think so,
also
too.
7.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, look at you guys. Mine's 60.
Yes. And then Dr. Wells, you're 50, right?
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Gail or Maurice can do something.
Let me think. You know what? Maurice is kind of in fight or flight mode right now, and he's chosen to fight. You know, often as is the Quaker way, I guess.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna punch this thing.
Just with your hand punch it or whack it with
Yeah.
your...
Well, unless the lady nearby is willing to relinquish that frying pan.
You have your wrench.
Oh, then I'll whack it with the wrench again.
All right. Do it.
All right. So my brawl 70. it is that a 90? No, that's a 60. That's good. 67 under 70.
All right.
So I hit it.
Well,
I believe that's a D8.
well, you got a regular success, right?
Oh, yeah.
It is going to fight back.
Oh.
However, it fails. So yes, you do your damage. So a D8 plus your damage bonus.
Which is D4.
Mm-hmm.
Which one's D8? I think it's this one. Oh, that's 9 damage.
Ooh.
I rolled low on the D4, but maxed out on the D8.
Go ahead and everyone give me a listen.
$28 under 60.
So a hard success.
45 under 46.
Regular success.
When you meant everyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just curious to see who hears the sound.
What is it?
93
Listen
over
is a little bit
50.
higher than
Okay.
before. 8.
Ooh.
So that for me is merely a. Oh wait. Yeah, it's a hard success.
So Eloise, you hear when Maurice, it's not really crunching. It's because it's more like a splatting, wet kind of situation as Maurice just like smacks the crap out of this mass. You certainly hear more of that creaking and groaning coming from the pipes as the visible mass kind of twitches and spasms in response to the powerful blow from Maurice. What Maurice and Gale hear is this very faint, kind of echoey, like if parakeets could moan. It's a chirpy but moany, weird, like it does not come out of the mouth of any creature you have ever encountered. There's this strange, kind of high-pitched, chittery, but somehow musical noise, and it's partly or very, very faintly kind of coming from the pipes, but you actually mostly hear it. We'll say that the door to the alley behind the bistro is open, and that's actually where you hear it from more than anything. But it does seem to coincide, like you hit that thing and there's this reaction and this sound, this kind of echoey sound coming from a strange direction. Gale.
I want to take out my little switchblade
Okay.
and I want to run up towards the action.
All right. It is going to fight back again. However, this time it has a penalty die because it is outnumbered.
Yeah.
Get him.
Ooh. What'd you get? This is a fighting brawl.
Oh, okay. Okay, sorry. I didn't realize I rolled. 37 over 25.
Oh, so you go to stab it, and I'm going to say the knife kind of just like passes in between some of these sinews or whatever these things are, and then your hand you're just going for broke, and then your hand kind of slams into it, and it responds by rapidly whipping these tendrils around your forearm.
Not cool, not cool, not cool.
Go ahead and give me a strength.
36 under 40.
Okay. You are not
Oh.
entirely pulled off your feet as it begins to kind of just like jerk you around the room as it's writhing. So you now you have your arm wrapped up in this thing and it's pulling you around. And it's pulling you into an area while say this warm soapy water has covered the tile floor. So you think that you might hit the ground soon if you aren't able to get free. All right. Yeah. And our next up is going to be Eloise.
Oh, yes. Well, I'll pull my little switchblade knife and try to cut Gale free because,
Yes.
we're here, we're doing things.
We're just hanging
Not-
around the sink, stabbing at it.
We're not doing well, as I got a 67 over 55.
Yeah, okay. Well, we'll see. It's going to try to fight back, but with another setback die or penalty die because again it's overwhelmed. Oh yeah. It just instead of reacting to you because you didn't really do much to it, right? Did you? Oh, I forgot. Did you succeed or you missed? Yeah. So
I missed.
It's not enough to get it to react to you. So it's mostly focused on trying to send out more tendrils. So it's all these little tendrils, Gale, are now crawling up your arm and wrapping around, and they're trying to wrap around your neck as more and more of this mass is pulling itself out of the plumbing. It's go. Gale, would you like to... Ooh. You can dodge or you can fight back. But I will say, I think the dodge will have a penalty die because you are on slippery floor and you are being wrapped up in this mass. Penalty die just means you roll the tens number twice and take the higher. Or you can just fight back.
I guess just fight back.
Okay. Roll it up.
So this is another fighting brawl.
Fighting brawl.
Oh, better. That's a 14 out of 25.
All right. And you are defending. So yes, I will say it gets a few more tendrils on you, but not enough to actually do damage. And not enough to like slam you up against the wall, which is what it's trying to do. Dr. Wells, you're up.
Matches around.
Sure. There's matches. There's cooking oil. There's actual open flame.
I'd like to set it on fire.
All right.
I like this.
Can't go wrong. So you want to, I assume, douse it in oil, and then because it's wet, so it's going to need some sort of. I think Dr. Wells. I mean, you're not a scientist, but you're quite learned. You would know that you would need to cover it in some sort of fuel to get the fuel to actually ignite. So you want to grab a pitcher of cooking oil and just like throw it all over it, and then see if you can't light it up. All right, cool. Go ahead and give me a throw.
Okay. It's an 84 over a 20.
Okay, well, you do get some oil on it, but you also get oil all over Gale and Maurice and yourself and half the kitchen. Like mostly on Gale.
Listen, I am not a barbecue person.
This is fine.
You set me on fire, I'm hugging you. I'm gonna put you on fire too.
How you
That's the
gonna
type
hug
of
her while
person-
your hands are busy?
I will somehow get him to just launch me into sin.
Right. So with that, we'll say that ploy did not go quite as well as you intended. Hey, Gail, Maurice, what's going on?
Maurice is going to do the incredibly uncreative thing of hitting it again.
Yes. Sounds like a good idea.
All right. Here I go. Oh, do I get a bonus die because everyone's teaming up on it?
No, it just takes setbacks, or it takes penalty die on
That's fine.
subsequent attempts to fight back. It had knows to do one thing, which is to fight back.
So I'm going to take a major boon because I rolled 93. So let's roll that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's a 5.
Oh.
Or sorry, now it's a 3, actually.
Ooh. Would you like to spend 2 luck to turn that into a critical?
What's the benefit of having a critical versus an extreme?
Well, the critical will mean that you do max damage.
I thought that was also what extreme did.
No. Sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
No, sorry. Yes, you're right. Extreme, you would do max damage. Critical, you will do max damage and get some sort of additional effect that is beneficial to you.
Look, I want to do the cool thing and get a crit. So yes. So that's only 2. What is my? What is that? 39 luck.
Yeah. When you're that close to a crit, you might as well go for it. So you spend a couple of
Exactly.
points of luck to make it a critical hit. And yes, so Maurice had backed away maybe a bit to get out of the way of the flailing. And then now seeing that your new friend Gail is rapidly being cocooned by this stuff and then doused in oil by Dr. Wells, and you can see the firelight flickering in Dr. Wells's eyes as she casts her eyes around for any kind of matches or whatever. You know that if you don't resolve this quickly, it's about to get real toasty up in here.
Dr. Wells is like, the flame consumes. Yes, yes.
And we'll just say that Maurice just takes off, gets a good head start on where the tile is still dry, and then does a wonderful kind of like slide on your feet across the oily, soapy ground just to get up good momentum, and then just full on baseball, point to the far bleachers kind of situation. And there's this ripping, glopping, gloopy noise as just both the force of your swing and the momentum of your entire body carrying it forward. You basically just rip this mass in twain. The part that is on Gale is still kind of trying to crawl around you, but in a less effective way. The other piece kind of rears back like some sort of pseudopod and thrashes a couple of times, and then with a loud kind of sucking gurgle and more creaks and groans from the cast iron pipes into the depths. You hear more of that chittery, giggly, moany sound, especially once you can hear as the drain finally fully clears. It starts to echo out of the pipe.
I turn to the manager or the person in charge with the peppery beard. It's like, I unclogged your sink.
He and the waitress and the other lady kind of look at each other and then just take off in 3 different directions.
I'll send you the bill.
The one waitress just runs out. Restaurant's closed. Busts out the front door and then just takes off down the street.
Speaking of bill, I feel like I'm owed my payment, which I only deal in information, and feel like this is very different from the conversation we were having out there.
Are you actively picking this still living, writhing mass off of you before it can climb up
Yes.
your face?
Well, Yes,
Cool,
while
yeah.
looking at it,
Well,
be like, what
You're
is
pulling
this?
it off, yeah.
Like,
Sever-
speaking of,
yeah, severed from the main body, it is still somewhat aggressive, but not effective. And you're quite able to eventually just like pull it off and throw it over into a corner where it just kind of. I will say after a few moments, it starts to hiss and bubble as this foul-smelling, slightly yellowish smoke boils off of it, and within but maybe 15 seconds, it just kind of becomes this sludgy goop in a way that is familiar to Eloise and Dr. Wells.
And it smells similar, as in very bad.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
This
nice.
has unlike the creature that you encountered last night, this has a slightly more, well, poop smell. It smells the one last night smelled of like
Swamp,
disgusting swamp, and this smells a little bit like a latrine.
like sewers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm probably staring at it as it disappears and then, thinking about how, well, that's certainly not meat that I could take.
Maurice turns to Gale. It's like, there goes your information. That was your payment.
I feel like I need this spelled out. What is going on here?
Well, we might have a few more guesses than you, but actually this is a lot of guessing.
Now, for Katie and everyone else as a reminder, if you look under your education and your intelligence at the top with your characteristics, you'll see that under education, there's a little word that says no. And under intelligence, there's a word that says idea. You can be like, I wonder what my character knows about something. As if it's like general knowledge, and that's a no roll. Or you can be like, I wonder if my character has an idea about this, and you can make an idea roll. Sometimes I will call for it, but it's also completely acceptable to say, hey, I would like to see if my character has any idea about what's going on, because your characters are skilled or not skilled, but somewhat skilled, at least, investigators of the arcane, and probably know more about the world around them than the player does.
Well, what we do know is it seems to be coming through the plumbing, so maybe it travels through the sewer systems.
I mean, my idea, as I would Eloise might pick up on this, we'd see, is that it seems like the lady who definitely has out for us, who I took one half of her very important occult gizmo, perhaps is sending more monsters to get us through said sewers and things.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is, because I am insane, but
The lady you're telling me about with the occult stuff?
oh, I don't say any of this unless you ask me, and unless you encourage me to say things, because I am still pretty pliable in general. I did, however, roll an 89 on my idea, so maybe I'm just sort of like over 80. So it might just be more of a hunch than something I'm going to.
Yeah. It's also
Sure
perfectly
about.
acceptable for you to have hypotheses without rolling them.
Ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. Am I able to try an idea roll too?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Dr. Wells would also like to try a idea roll.
Ooh.
Dr. Wells'
23
idea
out of
is that
70.
it's so a hard success. Let's get Dr. Wells' roll. See what happens.
57 under 90.
Okay. Well, Dr. Wells, I think your first idea is that this is clearly some sort of mass hysteria. But I think just in the brief conversation, you do allow that there might be some sort of perhaps undiscovered species living in the sewers beneath Arkham. And that is of concern because it is clearly, you don't know whether it's predatory or not, but it's clearly dangerous. So yes. And it probably occurs to you that you're not a biologist. So it may be that it could be a strange species of, I don't know, slime mold or something that has never hit your radar previously. For Gale, with the hard success, I think the idea that occurs to you, just given the back and forth, is you remember reading about something. You were just skimming through books of the occult. You do remember it was just yesterday that you came across a book that was talking about some object or set of objects, and that was what helped you to recognize the ring that you saw Eloise had. You're fairly certain you can go right back to that part of the library. You don't remember exactly which book it was you were looking at, but you're fairly confident you could find it again. And there might be more information. Hint, investigators spend a lot of time in the library.
True.
To put it another way, if you understood, if indeed there's a connection between whatever arcane object Eloise had and this attack, learning more about the magic involved might be beneficial to you.
About that object.
What object? Eloise says in a bad attempt to be coy.
Yeah. We're past that. Anyway, listen. I'm just gonna listen. We're all in this together now. That was nothing if not introduction of a trial by fire. But we could look into it. Like, there's the library. I was telling you about those ruins earlier. We could figure this out, but I would love to see this object.
Oh, yes, that's right. The Cavendish one. The one that I picked up off the ground.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Maybe let's leave this restaurant. Maybe we can look at it at the library where there's no water pipes or water.
Yeah, away.
Maybe we can get cleaned up too. I'm sure the school wouldn't mind if we use the showers, unless you live close to the college.
Definitely like
There's
to
a lot
step
of
away from those open flames, my dear.
I get a towel, and I get towels so everyone can towel off all the oil.
Yeah, or at least some of it.
Yeah, at least some of it.
Yeah. So yes, Eloise knows that there's showers and things, and you probably have scrubs and things like that you can help people change into. So perhaps we jump forward in time a bit. The investigators reconvene maybe in an hour, having gotten the goop and still wriggling bits of creature and gallons of cooking oil off of themselves. And you meet on the steps of the Miskatonic University Library. Say, Gail, you know this section.
Yeah,
So
I'm leading them. I'm like, just follow me. Come on.
yes.
Come on, we're going this way.
So I will say you probably pull some, grab a table, pull a few books that you're confident is one of them at least was the one that you were looking at most recently. And Eloise, you have the object with you. Maybe not out, but you do have it with you. So what happens?
Mm-hmm. Well, I will put the object on the table for observation as we flip through books.
Can I
Looking
take a
for
peek and
runes.
investigate?
It is going to be library use. I will give Gail, I will give you a bonus die, which works like a penalty die. You just roll 2 of the 10s and take the lower. So like if you roll a 71, and then you roll the 70 again, and you get like a 1 is 11. Yeah, you take the lowest one.
Oh, okay.
I got
Okay.
a 58 over 35 for my library use.
Okay.
Oh, we're rolling library use.
Yeah, you can all do it.
All
I
right.
am, but I'm mostly like just spinning the ring around and like flipping it and stuff instead of reading books.
Look,
I got. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I got distracted by I don't know pulp novels or something like that
Yeah.
because I got a 58 over 20.
I pulled out a few calming books as well because I feel like we all need to take a chill pill.
Yep.
Due to the nice extra die, I got a 4.
Ooh. So yes, as everyone else is kind of looking through this stack of books, Gail, it's like, no, it's not this one. It's not that. You immediately go to one of these books, flip through really quickly, and come to what is actually a lovely illustration. It is a wood cutting, so it's almost photographic, right? It's intended to be a very realistic depiction of what appears to be a set of rings. There are 10 in total. There is one relatively small ring. It looks like the depiction is like these are things that are laid out on like a piece of cloth or something for display. There's one smaller ring in the middle, and then there are 9 rings around it. The rings around it seem to be a bit larger and do seem to very closely resemble the object that Eloise is toying with. And there's a caption. These are the bands of Katesh. And there is a story about a priestess who forged these bands with deep knowledge given to her by the gods or something, and then used it to subjugate man and beast alike.
Okay, that binding vengeance thing.
Yes.
Lovely.
Dr. Wells is distracted by the smell of oil.
Like it's still underneath your fingernails.
I will kind of call attention to that and be like, oh, funny you're toying with that band, as I now know it's called. Come take a look at this.
Oh, that's how she's controlling it. I mean,
Controlling it?
well, hypothetically, if you were, say, to have one of these bands on your person, because Dr. Wells, doesn't this look like the band that Lady Cavendish was wearing? This little
yes,
one right here.
Yes.
So, hypothetically, if she was wearing that, and hypothetically, there was another one on some sort of horrible swamp creature.
Yeah, hypothetically it would be
Hypothetically, thank you. I'm glad you understand.
Yeah.
Perhaps she would be controlling it.
Yeah, she can man and beast alike, and there are 9 controlled by one, to a grand total of 10.
And I will say,
beast.
due to the success and the RP, there is, as you're reading the legend, there is suggestion that the priestess summoned demons and used the bands as a way of controlling them. Given that, in general, summoned demons immediately turn upon their summoner and rip them to pieces. This is a good thing to have if you want to practice demonology. But it does appear that she was able to use it to control ordinary people and creatures as well. But the primary
fun.
purpose of design was to be able to exercise control over summoned demons.
So maybe, hypothetically, she'll kind of give the nod to Eloise. Hypothetically, this might be just a trial run, or an attempt gone a little wrong, but maybe not really wrong, because she's got whatever that tendril thingy squid was. I didn't even know they had eel at that restaurant.
Yeah, Hariel.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I will say that this one, tapping the ring, might be considered lost property.
The one you have.
Yeah, maybe. Lost. I'm pretty sure that whenever Eloise is like lying, you can pick it up immediately because her fast talk's like 5. So you know that this is you probably can read between the lines of Eloise saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, we ran across this on a monster, and also, I definitely took this."
Well, let's
So it might
see.
actually be.
Let's see. Go ahead and make a psychology
Yeah.
Gale. And go ahead, go and
Psychology?
give me a fast talk there, Eloise. Because Eloise could get a 1 and Gail could get a 100.
I mean, I got an 85 over 5.
Okay, yeah.
And I got a 27 under 45.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying
Eloise
it
is an open
explicitly,
book.
but I think you know that
I-
I took this off a monster, and I think the lady was controlling it.
Yeah.
I've done enough
It definitely
interviews.
sounds crazy, except you just saw a monster.
Yeah.
So we're all good.
At least we have it. We can figure more out with it than without it, probably. Or it's like a homing beacon for bad things.
What do I
It could
see?
be a homing beacon for bad things.
What do I see? What do I see between the interaction between Gail and Eloise? Has it gone to a point where it's like, okay, the game is up, Eloise. We got to tell Gail.
Yeah, I think it's super obvious. I mean, as you heard, Gail is a reporter and is good at interviewing people to get the information out. And also Eloise is just a terrible, terrible liar.
Terrible liar also loves telling people hot goss.
Right.
So here we are.
Also, I just turned to Gail. It's like, look, Gail, there's some things in this world that people just don't understand. They will never understand. And we're kind of at the forefront of this strange world. And as much as I could tell you everything about what we've done, no one will believe you. And I'm sorry, but that's just the way things are. It's just too outlandish for anyone to understand. I think people are incapable of understanding. Do you get what I
Well,
mean?
I do, absolutely. And, people believing or not, that's always been a part of, reporting. Doesn't matter. I love outlandish. So I would love to get to the bottom of this. Sounds really juicy.
All right.
Well, if we perhaps want to stop somebody from using their terrible ring to send monsters after us to get more rings, maybe we should figure out a way to, I don't know, take it from her.
Yeah. In the book, does it say anything about like countermeasures? Just destroy the ring? Do we have to throw it into Mordor?
No, we don't want to destroy it. No. We should hold on to it for safekeeping.
You go in timeout.
You got a hard success, right?
Yeah.
So the priestess was eventually, Katesh, was eventually vanquished when someone realized that if one of her summoned minions were freed from her control without killing it, that it would seek vengeance, or at least they hypothesized that that's what would happen. And this, as the story goes, some brave individual removed the band off of some unspeakable monstrosity that she had used to slaughter villages and all kinds of horrible things. And it immediately turned his attention to her.
Oh. So okay, reading, skimming through again, being like, oh, okay. When you acted as the nice, lovely, lost and found individuals that you are, and you collected this evidence, not lost property, is evidence now. Anyway, how did you do that? Did you like kill whatever had it on? I assume so, but just
Oh yes,
enlighten
I
me.
stabbed it to death. Yes.
Okay, fine. I honestly agree with you. In the moment I would have done that too.
Yes,
There
it
is
did eat Sir Reginald. Yes. Oh, he
who
got out. It's fine. He shot a hole in
who
his
is
gut.
Sir
Don't.
Reginald?
Oh, he's our friend. He's an explorer of great renown. I'm sure you've heard of him. He says that a lot.
Do I
No.
recognize the name? Okay. Oh, yeah. Like I said, I'd stay on a county level, so I just, not we don't run in the same circles. Anyway, there is a lovely paragraph here about an idea. Again, we deal in a lot of hypotheticals in the research gathering stage of reporting. And hypothetically, if we were able to remove a band without killing it, hypothetically, because this whole thing is like rooted in vengeance and binding and demons and curses, all that fun stuff, they probably are not happy to be controlled, and hypothetically they would go against whoever was controlling them. So turn against your keeper, so to speak. Hypothetically, how hard was it to even kill one?
Well, that one didn't seem too bad on our standard level, but also Reginald had a gun.
Oh,
And hypothetically speaking, if we were to go back to the scene of the not crime,
event.
but that location,
Yeah.
I could probably distract Madame Drusilla enough for you to maybe borrow the ring from her.
Well, I don't necessarily know that we want that ring, because if we hold the controls and we free one of these things, what's to stop them from just killing us?
That's
The goal
that's
is,
consistent with your reading.
yeah, we don't want that part. In fact, we want to not let her even take that off. We could super glue it to her finger. Um, but I do. It's looking. I mean, these are old books, so put as much in them as you want. But it looks really close to the picture. And in fact, these are all I've heard of this lady before. I just never paid attention to her, the one who made these rings. So ideally, if we find a monster and take off a band, it'll go eat her or whatever they do. Ideally, hypothetically, this is a lot, like you said, to wrap your head around.
I just don't think a person should have that much power to do so much harm. I think we need to protect the people, the public, from it. Protect her, the family, actually, the Cavendishes, the other Cavendishes as well. She's demonstrated a need to harm the other ones however she can.
Yeah,
I think it would be improper not to do anything about it.
agreed.
Is this a way we can ensure that it goes after just her and not like her offspring? Because she does have a daughter, so
I mean,
it wouldn't go after.
it doesn't necessarily go into super detail. It just says that they would turn and seek vengeance against the one who controlled them. I'm sure if we set this up elaborately, maybe like tricked her to the scene but already removed the band, and you said a daughter and I think a son who is the heir. I don't know, we can put them in a safe house or something? Because, like I said, it doesn't go into exact detail.
So are you headed to the Cavendish's places to try and resolve this?
Or we wait for another monster to come, we find its ring, and remove it without killing it.
Yeah.
Seems tricky.
Well, circling back to this resolution, does that even seem possible if she's sending monsters to try to murder you? Do you think she'll love if we just walked in and said, "Hey, by the way, stop doing this"?
Look, I can
Well,
fight
maybe
one of
if
them.
we
I can fight one of them, but I can't fight 8 more of these things.
maybe if we had an invitation from someone else in the household as a reason to be there. After all, we did help her son-in-law, and we chatted briefly. I think someone did. Yes, Sir Reggie chatted briefly with his her daughter-in-law and had a great conversation with the master of the household about his collection.
Oh, you mean the
Perhaps
stepson and stepdaughter?
yes,
The
yes.
stepson.
Perhaps we can piggyback off of Sir Reggie's interest in the collection and have us stop in to check on the kids and look at the strange objects there, and then, see if we can stop her from using the ring to kill us.
You might not want to lead with your reporter, just saying.
I mean,
Well, or he would love a reporter to do a little report on his collection. A little, cute thing. I don't know what his vibes are.
I don't think we should lead with any of this. I don't want to tell them that we're onto them. Hold on. I have concerns.
We
Yeah,
don't have to.
Go ahead, Misha.
Oh no, we don't have to tell them that we know they're using the ring. We just want to go look at the collection, and then we can snoop around. Or cut off her finger or something.
Again, I don't. We'll circle back to that. Last time you were there, did you have the ring on you, or the band that you picked up, or did you pick that up after?
Oh, I think I had it there, but a lot of
you killed the creature at night and then left in the morning with the band.
Yes.
And she didn't notice?
Not right. I mean, she was looking at us. But I don't know if it's specifically because of the ring or the fact that we didn't institutionalize her stepson.
Could be a combination
Maybe both.
of both. I'm just going to say it right now in case it needs to be said. No one put that band on. Don't wear it. Keep it wrapped up in a bag. Whether she can sense it or not is a different thing, but if you put that on, she has full control over you. So let's just get that out of the way.
I know what Eloise's new insanity is going to be.
Yeah.
Mania for jewelry. Look at this bling.
Yeah, for sure.
Gail,
Look at this bling. Love it.
Handkerchief scarf and is like, please just wrap it up in this.
Yeah, of course. And then I'll throw it in my bag. The place where everything goes.
Yes.
That's absurd.
Well, if we're headed there, do we want to arm ourselves better? If we need to do some monster hunting there?
I have a gun. A small one, but I have
Dang.
one.
Well, that's good. I learned how to use rifles better, but it seems a bit obvious unless we were, going to lure it outside to whatever car we take. And also I'd have to buy a rifle because I just borrowed one to learn how to shoot it better.
I think the only guns I need are these ones. Go!
Wow.
Of course, Maurice,
little
of
out
course.
No, I like to think Maurice is just like oiled and greased up. Like, yeah, I lift wheels heavier than this.
All right. I guess I'll get a vehicle from the taxi service. I'll see if they still loan me one, after the incident.
Sure. Of course. You are in good standing.
Good.
Oh wait, no, you're all leaving the library, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. While discussing this, yes.
So as you're having this conversation, as you know, and maybe you quiet down as you're making your way through the study area where there's some students around, and then pick back up a little bit when you exit the steps. As you are walking by the fountain out in front of the library, go ahead and give me a listen.
Listen is what again?
Ooh, 29
I'm
out
I'm
of
bad
60.
at listening.
43 over 29.
Okay.
52 over 46.
Okay.
Oh, that means I failed.
Yeah.
Check mark.
Did anyone succeed?
Yeah, I got a 29 out of 60.
Oh, so it's a hard success. So I think everyone else is lost in conversation. Gale, you hear faintly that same chuckling, cheeping sound. And as you cast your eyes around for where it's coming from, you notice that there are some drainage pipes. So that if the fountain overflows due to rain, it will drain away. And as you're kind of maybe getting a little bit closer to that and confirming that sound does appear to be coming from that, the fountain kind of suddenly, like it's running, and then it kind of like judders a little bit, like there's a developing blockage. And
Oh, that's
then
bad.
eventually all of the spray of the water stops, and you can hear a bit of rumbling from the ground beneath you.
I would like to alert and say, "Oh no, it's that thing again," and pull out my gun.
It's like 3 p.m. in the middle of the university
Listen,
campus. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just to remind everyone of the setting. It's mid-afternoon. There are probably students passing by, but you can
well,
do
I
whatever you
guess
want.
I'll wait to super draw until something pops out, but I am ready. I'm like, the thing, it's chirping again, bad, 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 danger, 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 bad.
All right. I get old bludgeony out.
I got a
Wrench-
knife.
Wrench
This
of
is normal.
legend.
I have a gun.
Cool.
Watch out, students.
So you're bringing the fight to Metropolis. Love it.
Unless we want to go down in the sewers. I mean, I feel
I'll-
like we'll probably have to go there eventually.
I'll go down and fight him. That's my element. Pipes, mechanical stuff. That's where I live.
You can spot hidden for me, Maurice.
Oh no. Let's take a look at what that is. That is 25% right now, and 48 over 25.
I will say just casting your memory back, you know that there is a building kind of like as you're kind of turning around, it's like, oh, if we go over that way and then head over across that quad, there actually is a building that you have done some work on, like a boiler.
Oh yeah.
And you know that there is an access into the kind of storm drain system. So you knew how to do it, but you don't immediately spot around you any obvious manhole covers or any other access point.
Hmm. Well, what to do? What to do then?
Or you can just stand here, see what happens.
I think I'm gonna go try and find an access point so we can take it to this beast.
All right. What is everyone else doing?
Seeing what Maurice is doing, which is probably looking around at the ground at a variety of grates, I would also look for an access point.
Sure. I'm gonna say with a setback because you don't have the penalty because you don't have the background of knowing like all the infrastructure here on campus.
With a setback, that's an 84
Okay.
over lots, I assume, for spot hidden. Oh, it's 69.
But still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's pipes, actually?
Right. The groaning continues. It's now loud enough that a couple of students have like started to approach. What's going on with the fountain?
Gale is going to tell them all to back away very quickly. This is an unsafe area. This is an official investigation. Go,
Okay.
please back up. Please back up.
Yeah, go ahead and give me it could be persuasion. It could be charm. If you're like, hey guys, let's do it. It could be I'm an official person and you have to a lie basically. That would be fast talk, or it could be intimidation.
I'm gonna do fast talk because that's my highest.
Okay.
The others are
Yeah.
not great. Ooh, a 22 out of 70.
Oh.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah, you don't need to see my badge. I like flash my notepad really
Right.
quickly, put it back. Get back. Go, please go home. Go inside. Go away. Leave.
Gas leak.
Be gone. Bad gas.
Yeah.
Bad. You don't want to pass out. Just leave.
Yeah. Gas leak is a good cover story to get people. And given, although electrification has certainly taken hold here in Arkham, there's still a bunch of old gas lines and a bunch of houses and buildings that are still fit for gas. So that is a significant concern to anyone in this period is gas leak or fire.
Okay.
So, well done. You are successful at getting a few of the students that had gotten closest to kind of, all right, yeah, stay back.
Yeah.
Maurice is heading off by himself. What is everyone else doing?
Where is he going?
I mean, I assume Maurice said, right? Or did you just like, I'm out, peace?
I do advise them that I'm looking for
Good.
access to the sewers,
Okay.
so I can find this thing.
Does that, knowing that it's an access point, but maybe not knowing what it is, can we try to help? Even just with a setback?
Oh, and he knows where it is.
Oh,
Yeah. His failure was he didn't spot anything in the immediate environment that would be an ingress point, but he knows where there is one because he works here on campus sometimes.
oh.
Well, I'll follow Maurice. Maurice knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I'll follow.
All right. Dr. Wells, you're going to stand here by yourself?
I will also follow because I don't want to be alone.
So just as you start to hear like slithering in the pipes and maybe see something, like there's still little like blops of water coming out of the fountain, but it's more like something is working its way through the pipes, pushing the little bit of water left out, just as maybe you start to see little tendrils poking out of the fountain, you all book it in the opposite direction. I think faintly behind you, you hear more echoes of that giggling, chittering, moaning sound, and then more as it appears to withdraw. And before you actually go around the corner of a building, you can hear the spray of the fountain going back on.
Oh, fun. It knows where we are.
So, Maurice, you are going to need to talk your way into the basement, the kind of mechanical area of one of these buildings.
Yeah, I just saw something wrong with your fountain. Unfortunately, there appears to be some sort of valve issue with one of the pipes. I'm gonna have to go in there.
So yeah,
And
a
sort
security
things
guard
out.
asked you, probably recognizes you. It's like, oh, I didn't realize that we had a work order with you, Maurice. And then you explain this to him. So yeah, give me a roll.
Fast talk.
Yeah, I think so. It could be
Fast
charm. It could be charm.
Charm is bad. Fast talk's better. Ooh, 37 under 45.
All right. He looks a little askance at you and kind of like, then kind of very pointedly looks at, like, he probably recognizes Eloise, might recognize Dr. Wells, maybe, but probably not. Definitely doesn't recognize Gail. And he's kind of like, what's up with, why are you bringing, like, Maurice, why are you bringing 3 ladies down into the basement?
What is it? They're part of a brief internship. It's like it's like an apprenticeship of sorts. They're learning a few things about the pipe system, so they can I'll be able to take some time off.
Gail
Okay.
still has like grease from where she shook the hand enthusiastically. She's like, yeah, internship.
Yeah, they've been
Okay.
greasing axles.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's fine. I mean, you made the roll, but he kind of like, and so the nurse is going to become a plumber? Okay, whatever.
Budget cuts.
Yeah. Right. Sure. But yeah, he doesn't bar your entry to, we'll say it's one of the science buildings.
He's uninterested in actually barring me.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yes. So you make your way down. You know right where it is. You don't currently have the keys. This is there's a wooden door that blocks off this little passageway. There is, however, a metal grate that does have a lock, but no roll needed. It's just going to take a little bit of time. With your wrench, it's quite easy to pop it off.
All right.
It's mostly there just to keep curious students out, right? It's not super secure.
Right.
But
So I just give it the old whack.
But I might actually ask you to make a roll to see how quickly, like, you're gonna pop it off, but I'm curious how quickly and easily you do.
All right, what do you need?
I think strength.
Just flat strength. All right, 70. Here we go. Yeah, how about this? I got an 83 over 70, so how are we on those major boons?
You can push it.
You know what?
Or you can major boon it. Your choice.
I'm gonna push it. So I'm having trouble with it. It's like, son of a, and then I just really reel back and have a go at it.
Yeah, you're trying to pry it, and you're like, maybe if I just like whack it one time really good.
Just give it a whack. Is that a 9 or a 6? That appears to be a 6. So 61 under 70.
Okay. So it takes a few tries and it makes a little bit of noise, but it doesn't, like, you don't get hung up at any point. You make short work, and then obviously creak, the grate open, and kind of have to put a shoulder into the door because it's a little bit swollen from the damp air on the far side. And eventually just kind of like scrape it open, and you see before you this dark passageway. It's maybe a little bit less than 6 feet high and probably only about 3 feet wide. So it's a relatively tight space. And Maurice is quite tall. You might even have to duck a bit because it's got a curved top. So you're a little hunched over. And it's about, I mean, I suppose 2 people could theoretically squeeze by each other, but it's not the kind of place that 2 people can stand abreast. And it is very, very dark.
All right. Anybody have a flashlight? do flashlights exist?
Yeah. I don't think any of you have flashlights on you, but there might be one in the basement. Make a luck roll.
All right. Luck roll. What's my luck right now? 39. 2.
2?
Yeah.
Yes,
I
in fact, there's a bunch.
got everybody gets a
Yeah,
A
there's
Yay.
an entire like crate of torches. And I will say none of them have the batteries in, but there is a little wire basket that has batteries next to it. And one of them is one of the friction generator style.
Ah.
Yep.
All right. I'll take a flashlight and put the batteries in.
Cool.
And I'll have the have a flashlight in one hand out front and old bludgeony just at in the other hand. I need a better name for my wrench.
One that flows off the tongue a little better than old
Yeah.
bludgeony.
Yep.
Old bludgy. I will also grab a flashlight and batteries. That seems good.
Yeah.
I'll follow him holding a knife. This is safe.
Cool.
I will also grab batteries and flashlight and follow, but with a gun.
I think I have my yeah, I have a gun out as well.
Oh, are you gonna do this like a Resident Evil style, flashlight in one hand and gun on the other?
Yeah, just like
Sure.
okay.
Why
Okay.
not?
This sort of tactical stuff doesn't exist in the 1920s, but whatever.
We are trendsetters. We're setting the standard.
Oh,
You-
that's a good idea.
You all have secret military training. Which it's entirely possible. I mean, anyone could have played some sort of role in the Great War.
I think
It's
what is
possible
it, Maurice
Eloise
was-
drove like an ambulance or something. That's entirely possible.
that would have been Maurice. I think Maurice would have done that because he
Yeah.
wouldn't have been in the
Wouldn't have
military.
been in
He would
combat. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and we know that Dr. Wells obviously continues to play a role in the psychological treatment of people who have challenges stemming from their service in the Great War.
shell shock. I
Yep.
think they would have called it.
Yes. Very well. So yes, you are going to make your way into this service tunnel that you know Maurice connects into the storm drain and
All right.
ultimately sewer.
Keep my eyes peeled.
Yes. Give me. I think survival,
Oh God, that can't
but
be good.
with a bonus die because you are familiar.
Sorry, this is alphabetical.
Yeah.
It doesn't appear to. Oh, is that it? Sorry. 10. That's not great.
Right.
All right, so we got 55 for the first one. Oh, is that just? Oh, 15 over 10.
You have luck.
Oh, you know what else we have? We should have minor boons.
Yes, I think we do
Yeah.
have minor boons. We
How do
do.
you do this? Use minor boon. Is this the correct command?
Exclamation.
Yes.
Yes, you did it. Perfect.
And that.
So that
what would
takes
that
it down
bring
to
it
a 5, which makes it a success. Yeah, it's a minus 10.
It's a-
So yes,
it's a
you
5
succeeded.
an even better success. 5 is a hard success.
5 is a hard success. Yes. So you, for whatever reason, remember, maybe it's just the adrenaline and the knowledge that you have other people to protect. You remember very well at least the layout of the storm drain system in the immediate area, and are able to avoid a couple of dead ends.
Mm.
And move yourself and your party quickly into kind of the main, one of the main channels that runs from kind of, I guess it runs southwest-ish down toward the Miskatonic River. and there's a little bit of a decline. And it is wide enough. It's one of these with probably 2 to 3 foot walkways on either side of a nice 4 foot, slightly deeper channel in the center,
Right.
where unless there is a storm or a flood, there's just kind of a constant flow of water. It's been a bit dry-ish in town, so there is a little bit of water, kind of foul smelling, but it's not
Could I
like
st-
lapping over the sides.
Could I stand in this water potentially?
You could. It's probably quite slippery and sludgy,
Fair enough.
and you might get something horrible, some sort of horrible foot rot
and gross.
disease. Yeah.
As far as I know, it's filth fever the whole way down.
Yes. Entirely possible. So what do you do?
I guess I try to use my ears to follow that very distinct chittering. How'd you describe it? Parakeets moaning while chittering?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's awful.
So that's the best thing. And just use my general knowledge of the layout in order to extrapolate where this creature might be.
Give me a listen.
All right. That's actually that's better recently. Where's my listen? Oh, there it is. 29. So 37. How much is that? What would that need? That would need to What is that? God, I can't do basic math right now. Ugh. Yeah, that's way too much luck. I'm just gonna eat that.
Okay.
You know what? I can push it. I can push this. So basically,
There will be consequences if you fail, however.
consequences of my action. Probably not great to do this.
No,
All right,
it's fine.
it's
Do it
fine.
anyway. Accelerate the plot.
All right. Basically I put my put my maybe there's I move around a corner and I really put my ear before looking.
Sure.
Ooh.
And maybe make everyone else be quiet so you can hear better.
70.
Oh,
That's a lot worse.
yeah, you don't hear anything other than the faint kind of shushing and lapping of the slightly dank water.
Guys, there's clearly nothing.
Are you sure? Did you check under everything?
Listen, there was stuff at the fountain, so surely there's stuff here in the sewers.
No, I don't hear anything.
Clean the wax out of your ears. I will listen, as if that will help.
I will too, and I'll shine a light. Look,
Sure.
It helps your ears.
Yeah,
I will-
yeah. Just like I need to turn the volume down to see. So it's one and the same.
I will also try to listen.
Sure.
Nobody believes me.
No, we don't.
Ooh. I got a 7.
All right, with that, I'll leave my failure of 52 over 46.
Eloise,
have
you
a
believe me, don't you?
Question.
Yes.
What does a 0 mean on the 10 die?
A 0 on a 10 die is 0. And then, so unless you rolled a 0 on the 1s die, that means it's a single digit. So what is 0, and what was the second die?
A 5.
So that's a 5,
Okay.
which is a very good success. So
It's the extreme success.
yes. So Gail and Dr. Wells, Eloise not so much. Eloise is too busy paying attention to the voices in her head. Gail and Dr. Wells, however, both hear it just as it appears. So we'll say you're not taken. I think Eloise and Maurice are able to react to as Gail and Dr. Wells look at each other and then turn back behind you and both flash your lights. And what you see behind you is just awesome. This mass is rapidly sliding towards you. It's pulling itself with these fine tendrils. It's actually rather quiet. And it fills this entire space from floor to ceiling in just this writhing mass of nastiness. You catch glimpses as your torches play across it of bits and pieces of broken furniture and detritus and dead things caught up in the knots of these tendrils as this sickening gray mass lunges toward you. So, who has guns out?
Sun's out, guns out.
All right.
Dr. Wells.
All right. Anyone else?
I don't think it's appropriate for Maurice to have a weapon out, given that he failed his listen so badly.
I only got a knife.
Okay. All right. So, Gale, because you have a gun out, your dexterity counts as 50 higher for the purposes of initiative. So you are at the top of the round. What do you do? The first thing you do, obviously, is you make a sanity check for me.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because you are face to face with a writhing, throbbing eldritch horror.
Fun. Just as fun as the number I got.
What'd you get?
But also, not to cater to the narrator, but I feel like because I didn't get the biggest look at the tendrils earlier, this is like my first official look, and I rolled a 98.
Oof.
What is your sanity?
50.
Oh, okay. So it's not a critical fail.
Right.
Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
6.
Oof.
Make
Ouch.
an intelligence check.
51 out of 70. So that's
So you
better,
make
at least.
you make the intelligence check.
Yeah.
You don't want to make an intelligence check in this case. So what that
Oh.
means is you get a good enough look. The reality of it enters your mind, and immediately your hold on reality begins to shatter. Unfortunately, you are smart enough to start to figure out what this is. Not in the extent of like naming it as a species or whatever, but you're able to really grasp the mind-breaking horror of this creature as it lunges towards you. You take 5 points of damage, yes? How much did you say?
Yes.
That triggers temporary insanity. So what do we think would be fun? Your reporter. We could go with paranoia. That all of this was a setup. It's all part of some big plot. We could go with hysterical blindness. As if because your mind doesn't reject the reality of this thing, your eyes basically just stop working to protect what's left of your sanity from the horrors that are advancing. We could go with reckless abandon, the loss of all care for one's well-being. Or we could go with just like run screaming into darkness.
I like the paranoia because I think Gale is very driven to understand what's going on.
Yeah, you seem a little QAnon-ish, like proto-QAnon-ish with all the conspiracy theories and stuff like that and your interest in strange things. So, yes, I think you gain, you immediately upon grasping this creature become convinced that all of this was a plot. Like maybe these people are cultists that are come to sacrifice you to this elder god. So with that
Okay.
in mind, and roll a d10 for me.
9.
So you will be in the
Ooh.
grips of this insanity for 9 rounds.
Oh, fun.
Yes. But you are still at the top of the initiative. So what do you do?
Okay,
It's
so
and it's not that you don't realize that this thing is a horrible, horrible threat to you. It's just that you
yeah,
also firmly believe that these people have lured you down here to feed you to it.
the battle's not over once this thing is done. Then the second war begins. Am I like temporary insanity? Am I coherent enough to like take a good look at it? We've been talking about these bands, and if I really think they're setting me up, I feel like that's my only way out.
You can spot hidden.
Okay.
I will impose a penalty die, however, because it is kind of in the midst of combat,
Yeah.
or combat is
So
about to ensue. So you don't have time to really examine it closely because it's rushing
yeah.
towards you to kill and eat you,
So
or
instead
eat
of
and kill
taking
you.
the lowest, do I take the highest
Yes.
this time?
Yes.
Okay. But it was even with the highest, it was a 65 out of 70.
Yes, you do see something. You think as you start to kind of back away a little bit and then look suspiciously at your fellow investigators, you think you see just a glimpse of something golden reflecting. And as you go and look, you don't see it, but then you see in the darkness, kind of towards the top and a bit over to your right side, you see a faint blue-green glow in amongst
Oh,
the writhing tendrils. And you
okay.
recall that the ring had those glowing symbols on it. So you think you confirm that there is some sort of band on this creature.
Okay. That's my turn? Yes.
That's just a thing you see. You have the
Oh,
gun in
okay.
hand.
Then I want to shoot.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna, when you said it's like back in the back with the faintish glow, even with the flashlight, can I see it?
You
Or is
just
it
saw.
too far back?
I mean, it doesn't have necessarily a super solid form. It's just this
Oh,
intertwined mass of tendrils. But you saw both the faint glint of golden metal and then a greenish glow from this particular spot. So you can deduce that is where
okay.
the band is located.
I want to oh my god, I'm gonna do that all the time. I want to short towards the band, but I'm not trying to hit it.
Yeah, just a
I'm
regular
just trying
shot.
to,
Yeah,
yeah,
got it.
hit around.
Roll it up.
It's a fail. Not a bad fail, just a regular fail.
Yeah, so there's an almighty bang as you shoot off a firearm in this very enclosed space. And then there are some sparks and a zing as it hits one of the walls and ricochets off into the darkness. I believe the next up would be Dr. Wells, because you also have a gun.
I want to shoot it.
Sounds like a plan.
That's
Oh, hey,
a
sorry to interrupt, Dr. Wells. Do we all need to be making a sanity check at the
Oh,
start
yeah.
of our turn?
On the start of your turn, make a sanity check. Apologies.
Just
Yeah, 100%.
keep doing your shot thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine, it's fine.
yeah. Go ahead and figure out if it drives you crazy first, Dr. Wells, and then go ahead and shoot if you still can.
So does this roll count as a sanity now?
Or roll it separately. It's your choice. I forgot. But yes.
Okay. I got an 8.
Okay. Good. Take one. And you are perfectly capable of shooting.
Okay.
perhaps the experience. Now, this is worse than the thing that you saw last night. First of all, because it isn't invisible-ish, and it's just grosser and larger.
So it's exactly the extreme success. It's a 7 under 35.
Ooh. Extreme success. Well done. And it's extreme success on a piercing weapon. So yes, go ahead and do max damage plus a die.
That's 4.
And what's the regular damage? Like what's the damage? Just the damage stats on your gun.
A 1d6.
So max damage is a 6 plus a 4 on the die. That's 10 points. So yes, you just aim center of this writhing mass and fire. And then there's just this, because it's been silent at this point because it's been trying to sneak up on you. It lets loose this cacophonous screech as your bullet tears into it. Well done. We now have a Maurice.
All right, Maurice needs to spot the where he suspects the ring is. I don't know. Maybe maybe Gail flashed her flashlight on it, so maybe I saw it.
It's possible that you noticed it, but
Yeah.
I don't know that Gail, you would have called it out, given that these people are
Nope.
not your allies at the moment.
Nope.
But I guess that's a spot hidden.
Yes.
All right, this is not great. 86 over 25. All right.
You have no idea.
No idea. Well, I do know that Maurice is a big, brave, strong guy who's going to do a sanity check. He might not actually be as brave in a second.
Right.
45. What is that? 53. That is a fail.
D6, please.
D6, you say. That is a 5.
Oh,
That ain't great.
give
So
me an
temporary
intelligence
insanity.
check. Well, intelligence check.
What are we up to? We're up to 8. Sorry, let me just get get everything done here. Down to 37 sanity.
Oh, that's good.
All right. And sorry, you want me to do what?
Intelligence check. Because
All right, I'm not smart.
It's true.
I got a 0. Or sorry. Wait, sorry, I got 100. That's opposite.
A 0, 0, 0?
Yeah.
You have no idea what this is. Like your
Yeah.
brain, you still lose the 5 sanity,
Sure.
but your brain just is like, nope. I ain't even worried about this. Like,
you know what? I'm fine.
I'll deal with the consequences in my dreams and in my conversation with Dr. Wells. But even though you lose the sanity, you do not fall into temporary insanity.
All right, that's nice. I have yet to go insane, but I only have to take one more point for that to happen.
Yes.
To get an indefinite, so it's likely to happen this session. Anyways, being the incredibly a very dull human being, I'm gonna go
And you're
in there
actually
and just
smarter than the average person.
I know. It's just funny. It's just funny that I critted ignorance in this case. But I'm just gonna go up and start whacking with with my wrench. I don't know, old Crammy. Maybe
Cool. Go ahead and roll it up. It's obviously going to fight back.
obviously.
Oh, wow.
44 under 70.
Yeah, it straight up failed.
All right.
Bad. Like it just like you don't know how it senses things, but it just doesn't seem to react or prepare until you whack it. How much damage do you do?
We're about to find out. I did 6. 6 damage.
It's kind of like it's almost like hitting a tumbleweed with a stick, right? Like you're knocking little pieces off and you're like maybe making a dent into it, but it's just this big mass. It doesn't feel like there's a central hard body
Like I was getting more of a response from one of its tendrils than this.
Yeah, what you encountered before were like a small number of tendrils that were tightly intertwined. This is just a big hairball,
Ugh. Hairball.
kind of. If hair
Gross.
was slightly translucent, reeking cilia-like appendages.
Ugh.
Yeah, but good job. Cool. You might get a chance to beat it to death. That was Maurice. And we have, no, you're above 50. So Eloise.
Cool. Ready to go crazy. 48 over 26.
You want to boon that?
Oh, we
I
can.
mean,
Well, you can use boons on anything.
Okay.
You just can't use luck.
It's a rough one.
I mean, I think the reality is Eloise probably goes crazy.
I think I'm gonna go crazy. Is
I think
what
so.
I think.
So.
I think we might have to use a boon for a different purpose.
Yeah.
When I go crazy.
But so go ahead and roll to see how much. It's a D6.
Yes, 5.
All right. Well, go ahead and give me the intelligence. It takes you. It takes you into
also-
temporary. Yeah, but.
And also, I definitely trigger the normal amount.
Yeah.
That's all right. Intelligence roll. We're doing good today. Got 35.
Cool.
Under
Yes,
80. Hard success.
You understand this thing. Perhaps the amount of time you have spent on the far side of sanity gives you an intuitive grasp. And you know exactly what this is. You understand its being, its rage, its desire to be anywhere but here. Let's see, what's a fun new temporary or indefinite insanity that we can impose upon you?
Well, you did mention jewelry, but and if we go with jewelry, will you allow me a spot hidden to see if I notice that sparkly band that it's wearing?
Yeah.
This is what I think I need to succeed on. Otherwise, we're all going to have a real good time. All right, that's the opposite of success. Now I'm going to use a major boon because I also got 100. It's a good roll.
Just keep Eloise away from a Fabergé egg.
All right, we're going to use that to reroll both, which was 76 over 69. So if I just use a minor boon, that'll bring me just under.
Okay.
Which I will do.
Yes, you do. Eloise.
All right, perfect. Now I want that jewelry.
Yeah, you got to get them all.
I got to get them all. I need all of these rings.
Yes.
For sure.
There's something about, this is a lot, and your poor mind is fractured. And you realize that no matter what you do, if you don't capture this power for yourself, things can continue to go bad.
Yes, but if I get the power, then it'll be fine, and Madge will know what to do, and it'll all stop. Perfect.
Yes.
We got to solve the basement problem. This is the only way.
Yes. I think that's what's going on in your mind as everyone else watches, as Eloise just jogs forward and swan dives into this writhing mass. And it immediately reaches out tentacles and tendrils and wraps them around you and pulls you in.
It's right where I need to be.
Yes.
I got this knife. I'm ready to get that jewelry back.
Yes. And the creature is going to begin to move away, in fact. Because you have the other ring on you, right?
Of course.
Okay.
It's in my bag that I'm always carrying.
Cool. Well, it is just going to start slithering away. back the way it came. With one of Eloise's stocking feet hanging out. Back at the top.
Is it
Gale.
okay? So, still insane. It's a conspiracy. Eloise just did in what my head is like the ritual trigger effect, and I can't have that. I can't let her get that banned. So I am going to full sprint follow and jump in after Eloise.
Sure.
I can't let her go. She's gonna get that band and kill me. I gotta get the band and kill her first.
So you're trying to get it first. So go ahead and oh geez. What do we want to make this? It could be fighting brawl.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd make it a fighting brawl because it's kind of like a maneuver.
Okay.
I mean, you're gonna wind up in it. Don't worry. But it's a question of whether you're in it under somewhat your own control or whether you just get eaten.
Can I use the major boon?
That's what they're there for.
Okay.
And by the way, Eloise getting eaten is obviously a major bang.
Ooh, much better. 35 out of 25. So then I can take 10 down.
Yeah, spend 10 luck.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes. So you are able to, it's not even trying to so much fight you, it's just kind of flailing as it pulls itself away. But you're able to kind of push your way through, and then eventually, like, you know the part of it where it is. And so you just kind of like start basically grappling onto it, trying to make your way towards that part of it. As opposed to just diving into the center of the mass like Eloise did. Great. Dr. Wells, 2 of your compatriots are now in the thing. And it seems to be perfectly happy to slither away with them. What are you doing?
So can I just follow it? Like, just walk, but like not within arm's reach, but like so that it doesn't get away?
I mean, you can jog along, yeah.
Because I don't think it would be smart to shoot at it with 2 of
Depends
the
on how you roll.
comrades in it.
Depends on how you roll. It could be great. It could be real problematic.
No, I'm just gonna follow along and watch the show.
Cool. Maurice.
Let's see. I want to start off by trying to yet again spot the ring. Hopefully, yet again, is that appropriate at this time?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What is this? 93.
You have no idea.
I'm going to use a major boon.
Okay.
Oops, that's not how you spell that. All right. Just keep the 3, roll the 90. That's 3.
So 33?
Nope, 3.
Oh, 03. Oh, yes. Yeah. As it's shifting its body, and maybe as Gale is pulling at pieces of it, trying to pull in a direction, that gives you an idea of what she's going for. So you look in that general direction. Yes, you can see not so much the gleam of the metal, but you can see the engraved band of runes kind of giving off this blue-green light.
All right, I'm going to try to run after it, climb on it, and then just cram it with the wrench.
All right, go ahead and give me a fighting brawl maneuver.
Fighting brawl, it's what I do. Uh-oh.
I mean, you can't fail to get on it.
I'm gonna check status
And
for a
yes,
second.
yes, it is an Eldritch Katamari.
Do we have any minor boons? That's all I need, actually. Use minor boon. So I rolled 86, so that would bring me down to... oh, wait. No, sorry. Because my fighting brawl is 70.
You can
I
spend 6
misused...
luck.
I'll do that. What am I at? I'm at 39, down to 33.
There you go. Hey, the lower your luck gets, the higher the chance you get to improve it at the end of the session.
Hooray!
If you aren't in the Dust Bunny of Death.
All right.
Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna say, but it's a regular success, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you're able to like basically start climbing in that direction. So you're on it.
Okay.
So Maurice is on it, Gail is on it, Eloise is in it, Dr. Wells is strolling along behind it. It is Eloise's turn.
Hey, I'm inside.
You're inside.
I want it. I want the ring.
You get the feeling that it doesn't mind you being inside it.
Cool.
Like, at all.
Appropriate.
So how are you going to try to get the ring?
Well, can I assume I can keep an eye on it from, but it's like outside somewhere.
Yeah, all you really see is just like, have you ever been to a bait shop?
No.
And they have, so in bait shops, they'll sometimes have coolers full of night crawlers. So just imagine a cooler full of worms, only the worms are multiple feet long and kind of translucent white. And that's what you see is just this wet, tendrily stuff.
All right. I don't have an idea, but maybe Eloise has an idea. I mean, other than just like stabbing. No, Eloise doesn't really have a good idea. I got 83 over 80. So I guess I'll just like try to stick my hand in the worms.
Yeah.
Louise never good at medicine.
Yeah. So so your idea is basically, I'm just gonna cut my way towards it.
Yeah, I'm gonna knife my way towards the ring. I gotta get that ring.
Cool.
That's
It's like
a
it's like a mixture of swimming and stabbing.
Yeah. And when you swan dive into the creature, you gotta go knife first to break the tension. You know?
Sure. I'm gonna say there's a bit of a no, I think it equals out because there's definitely a penalty for being in the stuff and it's all like getting in your ears and trying to but also you're right there.
So I am right here.
It's a flat roll.
It evens out. But unfortunately I only got a 60.
Yeah, it's
over 55. So we'll just take. It's hard to cut individual worm.
It's hard to get any kind of momentum on a stab. You're mostly just kind of flailing.
It gently rotating inside with the knife.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Gail.
Okay.
That the one that called himself Maurice, if that is his real name, is following you.
Oh no, he's gonna try to pull me off. I want to scramble further towards the band and away from Maurice and...
Cool, fighting brawl.
Okay. Wait, that's just a regular fail.
Okay. You're starting
high.
to kind of sink into it. Like the camera, as you're like, I'm gonna pull myself, and you're like, oh wait, it's kind of absorbing me. We kind of see as the surface, the thickest part of it, just starts to kind of slowly make its way over your face as the little worm tendrils crawl up and start to get a grip on you to pull you in. So that's great. That's awesome.
And I want to yell out, I'm on to you guys! You can't fool me!
You can't fool me!
I know what's going on here! There are happenings!
Sure. Dr. Wells.
I don't know what exactly is happening. But is it possible to like assess the situation to see if I can see if there's like any weaknesses of this thing?
Idea.
Okay.
Just straight. How
So
smart are you? Yeah.
that's a 23 under a 90. So
Ooh,
a
that's a hard
hard
success.
success.
I will say you assume that there will be at some point a junction or an opening or whatever. You think that if you could get ahead of this creature and position yourself well, you might be able to set yourself up to snatch the ring. Unlike the creature that you fought last night that had a really stout kind of leg tentacle thing that the ring was on, this just seems to have be entwined in these smaller tendrils. The challenge is that from the back, you and everyone else would have to get through the mass of its body to get up there. You think if you had we were in a good position, you might be able to just snatch it. And let's say, in fact, you are coming up to a widening area.
So I could just squish around it.
Yeah, give me dexterity.
Oh, let me just. Oh,
Call
Can I
out
use
behind
a
for an
minor boon?
That's what they're for.
So that'd be a 38 under a 40.
Okay, yes. You're just able, you can see it starts to kind of fill out into this space, but you time it just right that you're able to kind of just squeak by. Like you feel it like starting to kind of like try to go under your collar and stuff, but you're able to get by. As it flows out, and you back up a little, as it flows out into this larger area, it rises up. And you can see above you, this is some sort of kind of arched, roofed chamber. And you can also see, you're probably underneath like a manhole because there is now a ladder kind of within reach of you that goes up. And it does actually look like the creature is trying to flow up. Now, what's going to happen to the people who are in it when it squeezes itself through a relatively small space is probably going to be crunchy. But your idea of if you can get up, if you can get in a good position, you think if you climb that ladder, you might be, if you climb the ladder well and fast, you might be able to get up high enough that as it tries to pull itself out the top, you might be able to just yank that ring. You can certainly do that. I know your climb is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Or you can have another idea, but I think getting by it and getting in position, I will say, if you want to start, because it's a ladder, right? And you're not doing, like, if you really want to start like getting yourself up, that's not going to take a roll. I think it's when you want to do something extraordinary that's going to require a roll. But if that's what you want to do, or you can do anything.
I'd like to try to climb it
Cool.
to the extreme.
So yes, Eloise, Gail, and Maurice feel just the force of gravity shift as this thing is pulling itself out of this one passageway and starting to pull itself up, trying to get out the manhole. Well done. That means it's back at the... no, it's not. It is Maurice, in fact.
I got a 23. So I was
On?
gonna use on climb, so I was gonna use 3 luck to push
Yes.
it down to a 20.
Great. So you, instead of just like carefully, slowly climbing, you're like, nope, I'm getting up there. So you just fly up this ladder. You are in a very, very good position, depending upon what happens next. So good for you, Maurice.
So as I recall, if I destroy this ring, this creature is gonna go and attack the person who is controlling it. From what I understand.
Remove the ring. It's no longer controlled.
All right. I'm going to smash it with old Crammy.
Cool.
And that's
you're gonna have to get to it. No, you actually did really well on your.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I got a 3 or something.
Yeah, so you're within reach. So go ahead. I'm gonna say it's gonna take a hard success.
I believe that succeeds exactly. Actually, 35, which I believe is a hard success.
Hard success, excellent. So
down to the number.
How much damage do you do?
Well, we don't know that. We'll find out right now. Ooh, it's only 5.
Out of a total possible of 12, right?
What is it? D8? Yes.
Yep. So you are able to swing with your free arm and just whack the ring. There's this loud ringing noise. The ring itself doesn't appear to be damaged at all, that was a hard hit. And if this thing was normal gold, it would have been dented. But I will say it's enough to kind of knock it loose of some of the tendrils that are twined around it and actually kind of knock it closer to the outside of this kind of halo of squirmingness.
Ah.
So not enough to completely knock it free, but definitely progress.
Right.
Eloise.
Maurice is...
Did I...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Good.
Did I hear where that happened?
Sure.
Can I pinpoint that direction?
Sure.
Sure, we're going to stab that way.
Cool.
Oh, no.
Do you want to swim? You could swim if you want.
I think I'm better at stabbing than swimming.
Okay.
I'm going to get crit by Eloise.
Oh, let's see. I got 63 over 65. I'm feeling greedy, so I'll use a minor boon.
Okay.
To just get that right under to just do a little stabbing towards that ring.
Sure.
We're aiming for that ring. I heard it. I want it. I'm using the wrong die here. Let me get that D4. I only do a little bit as a treat. 3 points of damage.
Cool. So, Maurice, you're sitting here trying to knock this thing off, and then you see, like, right next to your face, just the tip of a stiletto pop right out, like right in the corner of your eye. And you can see Eloise's hand and another hand, like, trying to pull herself in your direction. So that's great. Gail.
How close am I to the ring? Like, can I reach out and grab it?
No. You would have to make another kind of maneuver / swim / fight or something to get over to it. Because you got kind of waylaid last time.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just gonna try it. I'll do the fighting brawl because that's a little higher.
Okay.
Oh, that one's good. That one works. It's a 14 under 25.
Oh, well done. So, yes, Maurice, you feel someone's hands clamp onto your ankles and then your calves and then start climbing up you. And then it's like it's laying on your back as this knife is waving around and they're trying to grab for that ring.
I'm
is
like,
going
get out
on?
of here.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna let you kill me like this.
I'm trying to save you.
Screaming in your ear, I'm not going to let you kill me. Well done.
You know what you mean by saving? I don't want your saving, you occultist.
So Maurice is trying to whack. You're trying to climb on top of him to grab. The knife is going everywhere. Dr. Wells, all this is happening right below you. What do you do?
Is the ring in grabbing reach?
I will say you could make a hard dexterity check or fighting to try to like hold on to the ladder and like lever yourself out over it and balance precariously and try to snatch it, or you could do a regular dexterity or fighting or whatever if you just launch yourself off the ladder and try to grab it. Consequences, obviously, of failure on the ladder are a little bit higher because you're probably up a good 10 feet now. But chances of success are also much higher. So it's your choice.
So what was the first dexterity thing you said?
I will say either. So if you're trying to be careful and like balance yourself on the ladder and just like reach out and try to grab it, that is going to be a hard dexterity or fighting brawl. If you want to go for broke and like just like leap off the ladder and try to grab it, then that will be a regular fighting brawl or dexterity.
Might as well just join in on the party bus.
Yeah.
The cuddle puddle.
Swan dive.
Do it. I think we have we have a few boons left.
Do we have a major boon?
If
We have-
anyone
we
is
have two
lurking in
majors.
chat
We
and
have
would
two-
like to
right?
boon us,
If you're new, it's a channel point redemption. You can turn in your points to give the players boons.
I feel like adding my own boon feels like cheating.
You can't. That's the one rule. You can add banes if you want to, but players can't add boons. So Dr. Wells.
Can I use like 20 luck?
Yep.
Okay. So that'll be a 40.
So
Under a 40.
cool. So burn a bunch of luck. Yeah, you leap out. You're like with conviction. You leap out, and you did not pay attention to one, how not good at climbing you ordinarily are, how dark it is, how slippery you are, and it is, it being the ladder. And you're like, you go to like do this perfect dive, and it's all perfectly clear in your head, and then your feet slip. And mostly what you do is fall. And you are falling directly toward, like, as you fall, a wayward wrench goes right past your face. You're starting to kind of turn. You see the flash of a knife blade. You see an accusatory glance from the wild-eyed Gale, who like, you're not going to take me with you, as you dive bomb. And you're mostly at this point just reaching up to catch yourself from falling, so you don't like fall straight down onto the hard floor and crack yourself open. But due to fate, providence, or just dumb luck, what you happen to grab is like a little handful of these tendrils. And you try to hold on, but they're very slippery and very small. So mostly what you do is you start sliding down those, but those happen to be the tendrils that are wrapped around this ring. And you basically just kind of like pull it off and then fall, hit the ground. I'm going to say for a barely success, you take 1 point of damage for the wind getting knocked out of you. And then I need everyone to make a dexterity.
$18 under 70.
Great.
17 under 70.
Well done. Eloise.
95 over 60.
Great.
All right.
Dr. Wells.
We got
94 over 40.
Perfect.
I think we have 2 more major boons.
Whatever.
2 minor banes. to lock it in. Because this is too perfect. So
I'll get you.
the instant you fall free, you've got the ring. The creature like freezes. So like there's this like tableau of chaos, and you're all 3 of you are half buried in this creature, and it just freezes solid. And then it just pulls all these tendrils in and wraps them around itself into almost like a snake-like form very rapidly, which means effectively that it drops you. Maurice and Gale are able, like, they see what's coming and kind of slide down it. Eloise, not so much. Like, it's like got one of your feet kind of in it as it's trying to form itself into a more coherent form. And you kind of wind up sort of dangling. Dr. Wells is a little bit out of it. So Eloise falls on Dr. Wells. And you both take 2 points of damage as you crash into each other. But now the very serpentine form of this creature just rockets itself up. You hear a huge clang as the manhole cover flies off. And then you hear the screeching of tires and the honking of horns and a few like, oh my God, what's that? Very faintly in the distance. As Dr. Wells is lying on her back with Eloise on top of her, holding the ring.
Am I still insane?
You have probably another good 30 seconds. Well, no, 20 seconds.
We got through 4 rounds.
Okay. So yeah, so you got 15, 20 seconds of crazy left.
I want to run up and try to grab the band.
Okay.
Oh no! I'm going to grab the band,
Okay.
like 100%. Like
I
this
am
is my
crawling
band.
over Eloise.
So what
I'm right on top of Dr. Wells.
Yeah,
It's
and I
fine.
jump on top of you.
I do the classic, pushing like their heads apart, and maybe they're,
And you're all
they're like flailing their
you're all super slimy. So I will say the camera closes in on a general melee in the storm drain underneath one of the streets of Arkham as this released demon makes its way overland to wreak who knows what havoc upon the Cavendish estate and one Drusilla Cavendish. And we will determine the after effects of your misadventure at a later date. So well done.
Hooray!
So Maurice still didn't go crazy.
Nope, 1 point away yet again.
Good job, Maurice.
And did you take any damage?
This time I did not.
See, you didn't almost die.
Wow.
The curse is broken.
Yay! I just have to try harder to make you go crazy.
Yeah.
New curse acquired.
Yes.
Curse acquired.
So that the obsession with completing the collection, Eloise, will stick with you, although you do return to your senses. And Gale, after a little bit of, there's a faint underscore of yakety sax as you all in the slime and filth wrestle around for this thing. Eventually, you come to yourself and realize, oh, that was weird. Also, this place is gross. So we'll leave you there in the sewers to contemplate your next steps. Well done.
It's fine.
Well done. Awesome. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks, Juices TV, for the raid. If you are on Twitch and you don't follow Juices TV and go hang out, you should. And if you are on YouTube later, you should go check out the Juices TV channel on Twitch because it's awesome, good fun, and a fantastic community. Actually, it's frankly, it's kind of like us. It's C+ content, but it is an A+ community. So you should check it out and join. Thanks everyone for the boons and banes and all that good stuff. Thanks, Katie, for hopping in at the last minute and bringing a little extra dash of chaos.
Thanks for having me.
For sure, for sure. Awesome. Well, let's do that thing where we let everyone know who we are and where they can see us next, and then we'll say goodbye to our friends on YouTube. This time we'll start with Misha.
All right. I am Misha_lesson3 here on Twitch. I don't stream, but I do hang out on Juices TV's channel. You should all come to the Discord because I think maybe later today or tomorrow I'm going to put out another call out for some drop-in games like this one where it's just one shot, so you just hop in. So that will probably be in the next couple weeks. Take a look at the schedule, see if you want to come play some games. Yeah. All good for me.
Hey there, I am the Shanks Master General. I was playing Maurice Church. I have not gone insane yet again, but I also haven't become fatally damaged yet again. So that's double nailing it on all cylinders. I don't really stream much anymore. I briefly did Celeste quite a bit, but that's kind of stopped. But what you can do if you want to support me is go to Spotify or wherever you streaming is done and go and see my band, the Dreadnoughts, the DREADNOUGHTS, and check out the good stuff there. Hey there, Sin. What's up with you?
Hey, I'm Sin or Sinful__potato on Twitch and other places. I stream on Twitch. I may probably stream tomorrow at some point in time, depending on when I finish other things that I need to finish. I've been playing Dr. Etta Wells, who has now 6 out of 9 hit points. Nice. Surviving. But has only lost like 2 sanity, which is cool. Definitely the sanest person out of the entire group, even though believes everybody else is super fine and completely sane. Although maybe just a little bit less after today's session, but normal people come crawling over you for things. Just go to a Black Friday sale. Normal stuff.
Exactly. It's normal.
Normal.
Black Friday
Katie.
sale on Eldritch things.
I told you, we're trendsetters. We started it all. I'm Katie. I played Gale, jumping in at the last minute, searching for the scoop, maybe now just a little less trusting of her new friends. I hang out here and in the Juices TV program when I'm not working, which is like all the time. And otherwise, we have a lot of friends of the community that stream. So I always try to hop in anyone's channel. You can find me around. Just hang out with us or people. And that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm 00 Daylight Michael, whatever, narrator, or keeper of arcane lore in the Call of Cthulhu system. Yes, as Misha mentioned, there will be, I know that we're in talks to revisit some of our more long-running systems, but we will also be opening up more of these one-shot, but kind of one-shots in a continuity, both, or not only in our Call of Cthulhu, the Cavendish collection, but also in the survive kind of 80s, 90s horror genre type one-shots, as well as we'll be starting up. I think we officially started the days past with Breakfast Club of the Dead, but we'll be moving into some of the other systems that will be used to tell the zombie apocalypse continuity. And we have retcon.
In fact,
yes, go ahead.
Oh, there's going to be a game of that on the 6th.
Perfect.
And I think we only have 3 players so far, so if anyone else wants to hop in.
Yeah, anyone can jump in.
You can.
And I have decided to retcon Zombie Minnesota, which was, I think, the very first thing that we streamed on this channel. Maybe. A very first thing that we streamed that wasn't the original D&D campaign. So I've decided to retcon that into the continuity as well. So I will be building out that storyline as well. So yes, absolutely come hang out at the Discord, which is cpluscontent.tv. and get an idea of what we're doing and share pictures of dice and books and memes and listen to strange conversations about the strategy behind tickling eldritch horrors or whatever it happens to be. It's a fun job. And then come and hang out with us. Go watch this on the YouTubes. We have like 200 some odd videos at this point, so that's a lot of hours. So you can go and check out everything from like sci-fi to fantasy to other types of kind of horrific horror stories to superhero stuff and teen angst and drama and you name it. So go check it out. It's a good time. Cool. Let's go ahead and say goodbye to our friends on the YouTube, and then we'll come back and rate out and all that good stuff. So goodbye, YouTube friends.